Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome, welcome all. Hi, this is a shifting video. You might hear noises in the background. You might hear insanely happy laughter. You might hear ducks. I'm going to be keeping track of this video because I don't want the video to be too long. I'm going to jump right into what happened. No spoilers, no nothing this time. And I shifted back to Toshinori's house. As soon as I got there, as soon as I got to Toshinori's house, I had the idea that I wouldn't go in his house because of what happened last time. I figured I would go to the school, you know, and then whatever I had to deal with there, I would deal with it. He told me to promise not to go, but I was going to try and avoid Toshinori at all costs because of what happened. I didn't come up with a plan. I couldn't come up with one. There was literally nothing I could think of to make things better. I mean, how do you fix tasing someone in the ball sack? Exactly. So my next best thing was to get him a gift, leave it at his door, maybe use my quirk to like stay off the ground. But as soon as I shifted there, I saw Endeavor standing outside of the house. And he was like waiting for me, I guess. So I walked up to him and he goes, Cotton Candy Doll, we need to talk. And so like I'm staring at Endeavor. I can already tell by the look on his face. I just go, it's Frodo, isn't it? He's like, calm down. Let's go inside the house and let's talk for a second. And I was like, what happened to him? We get in the house, we're sitting down. Endeavor tells me that Frodo's in the hospital and Hawks is being looked at by a doctor, by some kind of doctor that deals in trauma, and that he might not be stable enough to raise Frodo right now in the state he's in. And I look at Endeavor and I'm like, where's Toshinori? And Endeavor is like, Toshinori couldn't be here. He had to go to work. So I came in his stead to talk to you about him. This is really important. And I said, how bad is Frodo? He didn't answer me. He's like, let's get to the hospital. So he's driving me to the hospital, and I'm thinking like the worst thing because he hasn't given me any information. Obviously, Frodo, whatever it is, it must be like really dire, really important. I already kind of accepted the fact that I know Toshinori is not from that reality. So I know there's a chance I could probably lose him. And to lose my baby, I just got him. But I have to be strong. I really can't be a weak person right now, and I have to be strong for him and for Hawks because Hawks can't be strong. He's never strong. And so we get to the hospital. I'm updated on everything that happened. Endeavor like goes and he sits down, and I'm talking to his doctor. The doctor says that Frodo is losing his regeneration due to like constantly getting sick and not being treated for like his illness, which underliningly, whatever was in that medicine was helping him because in My Hero Academia world, as opposed to Resident Evil, it's kind of identified as a quirk, but it's really a biohazard. So that part is also hurting him. And and then they stated that Hawks refused to give him any type of treatment. And the doctor told me that whatever trauma he faced whenever he got him, whenever Hawks went to go get Frodo, or however, I know how they brought him here, but I guess he saw what they were doing. I'm not Hawks. I'm not, also not psychic, so I can't read his mind. I don't know what he saw them doing to him. But whatever it was enough to traumatize him to where if someone touches him, if someone does anything else besides playing with him, feeding him, or changing him, Hux automatically sees it as a threat. To the baby is thinking, please don't hurt me. This like broke my heart because I didn't know Frodo was old enough to understand what was happening to him in the Resident Evil universe and then being brought here. So basically they share like this bond. So they were basically on the same wavelength. So this please don't hurt him. Frodo's thinking please don't hurt me. And it's like, okay. And then when I asked them, how bad it was, they said, yeah, he's in the intensive care unit right now with the other doctors. He's attached to tubes, he's attached to breathing. And when Hawks saw that, he kind of went nuts. They said he went berserk and they had to hold him down. And um, so they put Hawks off into a separate section of the hospital and they won't even let him see Frodo right now. And Endeavor is basically asking me to sign custody over to him temporarily so that he can keep him, but he said I can keep him permanently too. But Endeavor, I feel like you're trying to take my child from me because your child doesn't like you. Everyone knows, what is it, Shoto Todoroki? Yeah. Your kid is like, he hates you, okay? So you're trying to replace your kid with mine, thinking that that's going to make it better. I didn't tell him that, but I was thinking, like, why else would you want to raise a baby? Especially a baby with my quirk, okay? Like a baby with this special quirk. And I never thought about that. So Frodo has my DNA, but he also has Hawk's DNA. Whatever Hawk saw, he won't talk about it, but it's affected him in this way. Personally, I would like Hawks to raise him because they have a bond. By separating Hawks from Frodo, you're actually hurting the baby. You're hurting the baby by doing that. You're not more than Hawks. Yeah, Hawks is going to be hurt, but the baby is the one suffering. He's the one he bonded with first before he even met me. So I don't feel like it's right for anyone else to try and take over. Also, I accepted that I might lose. It makes me angry, but I accepted that I might lose Frodo because I know where he came from. He is what they did wasn't really a natural thing. It's unnatural. He was born unnatural. I mean, he was born he was made like how babies are made, but he was born in an unnatural state. So I knew there was possibly a chance something would happen. And I had already prepared myself for that. I cried my eyes out and everything. But it's different when you don't really know this is going to happen and then it happens to you. So Hawks was like breaking down, I guess. They had, doctors talking to him and counseling him. And so I was thinking, like, should I go see him? Should I go consult him? I didn't want to go look and see Frodo because I did not want to see what he looked like. And then, Toshinori wasn't there. Apparently he had to work. He's still not being paid for his job. It's like voluntary, so but he still agreed to come in every day during the week to do work or whatever. So I go in there to talk to the doctor who deals with trauma. And I should have recognized these signs a long time ago because what he's telling me are the same type of signs that I should have seen. Like him not wanting to give Frodo medicine, him crying, Um, After I gave him the medicine, the baby was clearly okay. He was sleeping. He still felt like his life was in danger. Fox was crying over that, over giving him the medicine. And the fact that when I did see Frodo, Frodo was literally, there were tears coming down my baby's face. There were tears coming out of his eyes because he didn't want to cry. He didn't want to open his mouth or anything. So he was just dealing with the pain in silence. And, because I know Frodo isn't silent, I could still see the pain on his face. But Hawks was like, what's the word? Like oblivious to, like, he didn't realize this baby is in pain right now and that he's actually crying because the screaming thing wasn't happening. He wasn't screaming and crying. So, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for Hawks. And I talked with the doctors and I told them, let him see his son. Let him see Frodo the way he is now. Let him see him in that fragile state. And I hope, it is my hope, it is my prayer that I don't lose Frodo. Because then he can see that and he'll say, this happened because I failed to act on it. I went by my feelings. And the thing is, Hawks has to see someone. He has to see a doctor to deal with this trauma, but I want him to deal with this and realize that this child, this baby that we made, is depending on us to take care of him. And when you don't take care of him, this is what happens to him. And Hawks need to, like, visually see this. So I told him, don't separate them, keep them together because they have the bond and they're on the same wavelength. And he needs to. Also, Frodo might miss his daddy. He might not be conscious right now, but he knows if he's loved. He knows who's there. He can sense us. That's why he can wake up instantly when you come in the room. So eventually they ended up bringing Hawks over to the room, and Hawks looked at him through the glass, and so the doctor who deals with trauma said, let me work with him a bit. So I just watched from the glass. I didn't go in there. And another doctor came out, the one who's just caring for him, feeding him, changing him and stuff. She came out and she's like, are you the mom? I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you want to hold him? And I said, no, I don't want to hold him. So he's sleeping. She put him down. And so, like, she's like, um, we need to attach another breathing tube to him because they think he might have, like, fluid in his lungs and it should not have gotten this bad. So they had Hawks come in and help hook him up and help attach him to these things. And then I came in there afterwards and I told Hawks, I said, um, remember when I told you need to be stronger for him? This is what we're gonna have to do. We have to take care of this baby together. I put aside my little charade with him, my anger. I had to put all of that aside for the baby. And I told him, I said, this is what happens when you don't properly care for him. And then Endeavor comes in there. He goes, he might lose his quirk now, thanks to your irresponsibility. And Hawks is like, I know. And I look at Endeavor and I'm like, who cares about his number one, who cares about that? Okay. I want him to actually survive. I don't care if he's quirkless. Number one is not really even a quirk, but no one knows that, okay? Come on, my quirk is biohazard? Get the heck out of here. Come on. Don't let him bite you or anything by accident. Whoops. The world will be over. Like, I don't know if that's still true. I know they found a way to contain that, I guess, but this is hard. This was hard to talk about. This is hard to face with Hawks because I did not know he was suffering this much. because of everything else that was happening. And I almost don't even know if those are his true feelings anymore. Was that really just a shield to like stop you from because you were really worried about your son, or was that I have no idea now. Nothing they did was right. I don't accept it, but I have a heart. I am human, and I know what it feels like to suffer. And he still wouldn't talk about his trauma. So what I did was I just told the doctors to take care of him. You know, um, I didn't pick up Frodo and hold him because I knew that if I held him, he would probably wake up, and I wanted him to rest. His body needed that sleep. He was suffering from deprivation, which I didn't know either. Um, and the doctor that's taking care of him, that genius doctor who came and brought Frodo in the first place, he came over with this new chart, new feeding regimen, new everything for Frodo. And he said, if Frodo survives, who is going to take care of Frodo? And Hawks is sitting down and he's like, I will take care of him because he's my son. And I looked over at him and I said, I'm going to let Endeavor care for him for now. So then, we're sitting there, we're waiting the whole night. So there's been we had a few moments with Frodo um, before the other doctor came in. So they left Frodo. He was in this round, like tube, and they said we can only touch him through. There was like this little hole in there, and they told us we can touch him through the hole. He was attached to those machines because his condition got worse. It got worse overnight, and then in the morning, they took him out. They put him with the other babies in the unit because he got better. He slowly started to get better. Yeah, so I told Hawks before I left there. I just told him like, take as much time as you need. Until you can talk about this, you can't. I don't want you raising him. I don't want you. You can go see him every day as many times as you like, but you have to get over this. You have to. And Endeavor, he stood up. He's like, I'll help too. And I said thank you to him. I said thank you. Thank you for looking out for him. Thank you for watching over him. This was a hard time for me seeing him like this, but I already accepted Frodo. I knew what he was, okay? I knew who he was. I actually held him before I left there. Held him. He like opened his eyes and looked at me. And he had this little smile. So like, sorry guys. Trying not to cry. I told myself I would be the stronger one. Um, Cannot ruin my makeup. So like I gave the baby to Endeavor and I told him, I said, listen, please watch out for him. I know Hawks can't really watch him right now or take care of him, but you can do this. So then I left the hospital and I had the idea to go see Toshinori, but I just didn't want to see him right now. I really wanted a hug from him, but I just came back here and I just thought about what I can do the next time I go back because I knew that I have to look out for my child now. He's in the care of Endeavor, and Endeavor is going to be looking after him. And I never intended for this to happen. I did not think the makeup's probably ruined. No dark circles, right? No dark circles. So I think my baby will be okay now. Um, but I shifted back here and I was just like, and I shifted back here, I just cried and cried and cried. And I just accepted because I knew where Frodo is, like I said, and I knew there was a chance he might not last there. Think about where he's from. I mean, is that really gonna, am I really gonna be that, blessed that my child is gonna be just perfectly fine without any issues? And the issue ended up being Hawks, whom I ignored his trauma. I should have seen this. I should have seen it. Like, I just did not notice at all. But no one else seemed to notice it either. You know, I think Endeavor might have realized it. But that doctor said he's also going to work around Frodo too because Frodo has that trauma still too. That's why his cry is like that. And that kid's cry just makes you wanna. When you hear it, it's like an alarm. It's like a danger alarm. Something's wrong. Um, anyway, yeah. So that's what happened. I never even got to see Toshinori, and I shifted out. I came back here, bawled my eyes out because I have to be the strong one. If anything, I know Endeavor is definitely going to help Hawks to become tougher as far as being a father, as far as making his sons suffer through stuff. I hate to say that, but what? I mean, Icy Hot hates him, so God, I wonder what that's gonna do, having the baby in that house. I wonder if they can even deal with him. But Endeavor already has kept him, I guess, several times, so he already knows what to expect from Frodo. He's not gonna be dumb like me when I first kept him and stuff. I'm gonna miss my baby. I'm not gonna go see him until not for a couple days until I've like calmed down. I feel like a little anger. I feel a little bit of actual rage. Like I'm actually pretty angry over what happened to him because it didn't have to happen. But you have to understand people, human people are gonna have problems. And that is why these problems should be that's why they should be addressed. Things like depression, people end up offing themselves because it is a sickness. That is a mental problem and it is a disease. If you have a disease like depression, that's why it's called that because it doesn't go away. It doesn't, you can make it better, but it never really goes away. You can always become depressed. But then it's like anyone can become depressed. In fact, 90% of the world is probably depressed, except for the few happiest people on the planet, which I'm grateful that, I can hear insanely happy laughter at some times. And that's the happiest person on the planet right now. I'm great. I'm grateful for that. I'm glad for that. But I know that people deal with issues, and if they don't get help, it can get worse. Or if they just ignore it, it can get worse. So, hello. Say hi, Lyseers. Say hi, Lyseers. Hello. Yeah, I haven't showed him in a while, have I, guys? I know he's a great comfort. I didn't want you guys to see me crying. I'm worried about Frodo. I don't want him to get sick like this again. Don't know if they'll be able to save him again. But with Endeavor, I feel like they're gonna do what he needs. Endeavor will definitely make sure that Frodo gets what he needs. He's not gonna be afraid to like if he has to get shots or something, give him shots. He's not afraid to he's not gonna be afraid to give him medicine if he gets sick and stuff. So that's good. Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe Hawk should have help raising him. I thought Toshinori was, but I guess Toshinori doesn't really have a lot of time on his hands. And that's probably my fault too. I don't know. I'm gonna go back there again. I want to go back tonight, but I don't want to go back there tonight. I really don't want to go into that depressive, gloomy place to go see him. But he might want to see me. I'm thinking I need to be beside my baby every step of the way. I feel like if he has daddy there, that's going to be enough for him, though. They have more of a special bond than we have. So at least if one of us is there, it's going to help. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys like this video, give my video a like. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when other videos become available like this, which will be very soon. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, I still feel bummed out a little bit, a lot actually. So it's a-okay. Frodo will be fine. He has to be fine. If they have to take away his everything, take it away. Like I told them that already. If he's gonna be quirkless, take away his quirk. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to be biohazard either. So I don't know how he survived this long with the problems he has. It's just too much to explain. I keep saying I'm gonna stop the video. Okay, I'm gonna leave for real this time. It's just a lot. I'll do like an in-depth. I'll do an in-depth like an in-depth explanation on how Frodo's body work and his anatomy and everything, and what happens when he's sick. Because they showed me a whole chart of stuff, and I honestly do not remember all of it, so I wasn't able to reveal it to all of you. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.